Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becky Sechere. I'm a registered nurse in the UK and I normally give tips, advice and information to nurses from overseas who are trying or planning to relocate to come and work here, and also senior carers. I also give tips, or the tips I give actually can be beneficial to nurses who are already here. They are very new in the system and they want to know more. So if you're one of them, you're welcome. If you're not one of them and you're just here to hear what I've got to say, why not wait around and listen to the end? So once again, I'm Becky Sechere. If this is the first time you're watching my video, just remember to subscribe before you go away. And if you are already a subscriber, thank you so much and thank you for sticking around. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about, it's mainly for people who are planning to come. They're in a dilemma either whether to choose NHS or care homes or private sector. Now, I have been working in the NHS for several years, so I might be a bit biased to the NHS, but whichever organization you choose to work, there is no right or wrong. You can make it wherever you go. There are challenges in either the NHS or in the care home, so it doesn't matter whichever you choose. I'm going to be talking about the benefits of each of them and also responsibilities as well. So private sector, mainly, as I said, it would be about care homes. There are residential homes, there are homes for people with learning disability or learning difficulty, and also specialist care units like brain injuries and all that. Each of them have different category of people that you would be looking after. When you talk about, and then once again, the private sector, as the name sounds, is private. So they are privately owned. So they have their own contracts of employment and all that, pay structure and all that. If you talk about the NHS is publicly funded. So God is under the government, I would say, because public pay into the government. So publicly funded. Their pay and conditions are usually almost the same. And in the NHS, you have acute trusts, we have tertiary, so the acute, we have tertiary and all that. And then we do have community trusts as well. So we have community hospitals in addition, which has mental health hospitals as well. And also we have community care, where we have nurses working as community nurses, district nurses, and several other, specialties within the NHS. Now, let's start with the conditions. So as usual, I make my list. It's a bit dark outside. So it's a bit in the evening, not too late, but quite dark. So I'm sorry I got to have these glasses on before we carry on. Now, so I'm going to be talking about the working hours. So if you're working in the NHS, your full-time working hours is 37.5 hours. So for those who work long shifts, like 11.5 hours a day, they do 3 days. In a month, they would do 3 days for 3 weeks. And then in 1 week, they do 4 days. So in total, it makes up, for those of us who work Monday to Friday, because I'm a specialist nurse, I work Monday office hours, Monday to Friday. So I work 7.5 hours, so 9 till 5. So at the end of the week, I've also got my 37.5 hours. So for those working on the ward, they do about 11.5 hours. So as I said, they would be working 3 days sometimes, and once in a month, they do four shifts to cover. Now, when you go to the private sector, let's say care home, they work about 40 to 42 hours in a week. So it depends on how the shifts are. It could be long shifts and earlys or lates as well. In the NHS, we have band 5 salary. So starting point for a nurse in the NHS, newly qualified or newly registered from overseas, you start from band 5. And actually, I just realized the hourly pay for NHS Band 5 nurse is between £13 and 12 pence to about £16. So £13, 12p is the starting point of Band 5. When you get to the top of Band 5, when you're earning about 30,000 plus, then your hourly pay goes to £16 per hour. So this is hourly rate. Privately, so with the care homes, they could earn about £15 or more per hour. So that is about their hourly pay. In NHS, if you look at the Band 5 salary, starting salary, annual salary is about £25,654 per year. And when you divide that, so at the end of the month, they take home about, let's say, about £6,700 per month after deductions, without doing any extra like additional on social hours, which is like doing night or weekends. That is not included. So if that is included, it might be slightly higher. And for the private sector, like care home, their annual salary starting could be around between 30 to 34,000 pounds per annum. So you can see that is quite higher than the NHS. So nurses in a care home are paid slightly, not slightly, let's say higher than us in NHS. Now, the care home staff, as I said, they earn higher, but NHS staff, Band 5, the difference is that, so although they are paid higher, you are staff nurse, unless, of course, you apply to become a deputy manager and your salary increases in a care home. But in the NHS, you have the opportunity to progress. You're not going to be promoted. You have to search for the job and progress yourself. And so if you get to Band 6, your salary goes up. If you get to Band 7, your salary goes up. So let's say in the NHS, you are Band 7. So when you're Band 7, the final salary of Band 7 currently, let's say 2021-22 so far, before we get into April, there might be some increment, but currently, if you are at the top of Band 7, your annual salary is about £45,838 per month. So you take home about £2,600 per month. That is just working your 37.5 hours. If you do extra shifts and all that, you would have more added to it overtime. So both care home and NHS, you can do overtime in order to get extra money. You can do, and in the NHS, if you work at weekends, as I said, bank holidays and night shifts, you get a little bit extra. But if you're working in a care home, it's standard. Once again, they are already paid a bit higher than NHS nurses anyway. So pension. So when you come to pension, both companies, so let's say private and NHS, the employer would contribute some into your pension contribution, and you as an employee would also contribute some. But as far as I'm aware, everybody will tell you that the NHS pension is one of the best in the country. So, but once again, it doesn't matter. Now, let's go to maternity leave. So, both care homes and NHS, or wherever you work in the UK, you are entitled to 52 weeks maternity leave. You would have 26 weeks ordinary leave, maternity leave, and another additional 26 weeks of additional maternity leave. So 26 weeks ordinary, 26 weeks additional. Now, in the NHS, if you qualify, so I've done a video 3-4 weeks ago about pros and cons of working in the NHS, and I've talked about all these things, so you can look and watch that video. So let's say if you qualify for maternity pay in the NHS or for full maternity benefits in the NHS, your first 8 weeks of maternity leave, you would get your full pay. After the 8 weeks, the next 18 weeks, you would get half pay plus statutory maternity pay. So that would give you almost full pay actually again. So 8 weeks full pay, 18 weeks of half pay plus statutory maternity pay, which would be almost equal to your full pay anyway. And then there is 13 weeks where you only earn statutory maternity pay. Then after that, you get nothing. Another 13 weeks of nothing. So if you calculate it well, by the time you get into the last 13 weeks, then you should be planning to go back to work. So that is really about the NHS. Now, when you go to care home, yes, you will also allow to 52 weeks maternity leave. However, during the first 6 weeks, you get about 90% of your full pay. So it's almost like you're getting full pay for about 6 weeks. From 7th week till the 39th week, you would only get statutory maternity pay. And the statutory maternity pay for care home workers or NHS or anybody on maternity, if you're getting statutory maternity pay, that is only £151.20 per week. So that is really not enough. But because you're paid more and in a care home, if you save a bit of money, you'll be able to sort it out. And from the 39th week to about 52nd week, you get nothing. As I said in the NHS as well, the last 13 weeks, you get nothing. The other 13 weeks before the last 13 weeks, you only get statutory maternity pay, which is the same as £151.20 a week anyway. So, you have to think about all that. Now, let's talk about annual leave. So in the NHS, on starting, you have about 27 to 28 days. I think it's 27 days of annual leave spread over the year. So if you get this number of leave plus bank holidays, so this number of days that you have for your leave, for some organizations, your leave year starts from January to December. Other organizations, mostly NHS hospitals, as far as I'm aware, in my hospital where I work, our leave starts from 1st of April and ends the next year, March. So 1st of April to 31st of March, you should take your 28 days or 27 days leave. If you don't, you may lose it. So just think about that. So the starting, you get 27 days leave in the NHS. After 5 years of working in the NHS, you get 29 days. After 10 years, you get 33 days, all plus 8 days bank holiday. In care homes, they usually get about 39.2, so 39 days. So it's quite a lot of leave they are entitled to, actually. So they have more leave, I would say, 39 days. But it depends on your employer, so you have to check your contract to see whether that is what you are entitled to. Once again, whatever leave you get, whether NHS or care home, it is spread over 1 year period. Now, sick pay as well. So in the NHS, when you fall ill, the first 7 days you self-certify. Anything after that, you have to go to see your GP and present a sick note. In care home or private sector, most often people are not entitled to sick leave. But once again, it's private, so your contract might be different from somebody else's contract, but mainly they don't have sick pay, but you may be entitled to statutory sick pay, and statutory sick pay is about £96.35 per week, which is still not a lot really, and you can get that for up to 28 weeks. But once again, check your contract just to make sure. When you're working for an organization where you don't have sick pay, and you can get some statutory sick pay, what you can do is to consider things like income protection insurance. I'm not a specialist in that, so I would suggest you speak to an insurance company so that you can discuss that. If you're working in an organization where you are not entitled to sick pay, especially if you take, income protection insurance, that might help you if you're unwell. Now, I talked earlier on about the categories of people that are looked after in both organizations. So in a care home, as I said, they look after people with learning disability, elderly care, specialist care like brain injury and all that. In the NHS, there is a vast scope of specialties looking after all the body systems. So we have cardiology, respiratory medicine, there is hematology, hepatobiliary, there is gastro, different surgeries, orthopedics, max fax, there is neurology, endoscopy, and many departments to choose from if you want to. And there is more opportunities, I would say, for professional development if that is what you want. There are others whose priority is to make money, so they don't really bother about professional development. There are others who want a bit of both. There are others who are, career driven. So it depends on what you want. And also bear in mind, you can move from one to the other. So you can work in a care home for a while and you can decide to move into the NHS. You can be working in the NHS for a while and you can decide that, I want to try working in a care home. So, the opportunities are there. You are not limited when you get here or when you're working here. Don't think that you are limited. You have to stay here. You are able to move if you want to. You can try new things if you want to. Don't be afraid. You need to actually know your stuff in order to be able to be moving around. But you have to research as well. Let's talk about responsibilities in both areas of work. So in a care home, if you're on night duty or even day duty and you are the nurse in charge, you have total responsibility of running the home. You would have your managers at hand to support you, or duty call people you can call when you need advice, but you are the main person who is in charge of the shift if you are the nurse. But in the NHS, we have a lot of different people, so either night or day, we have your ward sister or the one in charge of the ward. You have the doctors, you have the consultants, you have the registrars, you have the, everyone around to contact if you need help. But once again, as you know, NHS, most of the hospitals or departments are looking after acutely ill people. So you need people around to make certain decisions. But in a care homes, they are not acutely ill. They're people who require a bit of extra care, which they might not be able to have in their own home environment. So it's better for them to be in a home where this care is provided. So these are the differences between NHS and care home, and I hope, or private sector. I hope this would help you in making your decision as to which way to go if you're planning to relocate to the UK and come and work, or if you're already in the UK and you're thinking of, okay, I'm working in a care home, can I try the NHS? Or I'm working in the NHS, can I try working in a care home? Do not be afraid. Whatever you decide, you can do it. I would only advise as well, if you are from a care home and you want to go in the NHS, certain areas I wouldn't say it would be the best for you. Should I say that? No, I think the best way to describe it is you will feel the difference in your salary because already you're paid better in a care home than in the NHS. However, if you go to areas like specialist nursing, or you go to areas like research, you will not make a lot of money because, or your salary you would see a big hole in your pocket, your salary wise, only because specialist areas or research sort of things, you're working Monday to Friday, it's office hours, you don't have any enhancement to your salary. But if you go straight on the ward, you work Saturdays, you work Sundays, you work nights, and you get a little bit extra. So at the end of the day, it would be okay. As well, you can actually do bank shifts, because if you move, another thing is if you move into specialist areas, you would become de-skilled like me. I cannot cope on the ward anymore. I don't think I can, because I've been out of the ward for quite a long time. Although I can still render basic nursing care, but you know, a lot has changed. So if you're new, you are young, you are starting, I think the best place is work on the ward, learn more, gain all the experience. It opens a lot of avenues for you to do different other things. I'm talking a bit too much, so I think I would end it here. I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any questions or any comments, just leave it in a comment section and I'll try my best to reply to you. Remember to share, and if you haven't yet subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. You need to subscribe so that anytime I post a new video, you will get notified and you can watch as well. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.